Well, our first guest this week's joining me in studio, Mr. Todd Denkin. Todd is the CEO of a company called Digipath Incorporated, DIGP is their stock symbol. Todd, always good to see you.
Always good.
We've had you on Skype a few times here in the last several weeks. Glad to have you back in studio.
Well, thanks. Good to be here.
Well, tell us again what the company does.
Absolutely. So we are a cannabis testing company that also has a branch of data analysis, because in the testing space what we do is we collect a lot of data.
Right.
We test potency and we test all the safety features, like is cannabis safe from pesticides and heavy metals and microbials, all mandatory testing, right? And we also test the potency and the terpene profile, and we do a couple of other things. We give it a visual inspection, and during that inspection we collect a lot of data, right?
Okay.
So over the past couple of years, through over 24,000 samples, we have developed a new company called Grow Sciences, where we take the data and we analyze the data, and then we're able to create certain formulations that we can now license out to other companies.
That's interesting. Now, you and your Chief Science Officer, Dr. Cindy Orser, you headed up to Hemp University, University of Oregon this weekend. What's going on up there?
Well, it's a really big event hosted by Bruce Perlowin of Hemp Inc. And basically what is happening is a get-together and an educational seminar from some of the greatest hemp minds here in the United States, up in Oregon, and even around the world. And it's really for the local farmers and the local entrepreneurs who are getting involved in the hemp industry to really touch, some of the experts in the field, ask the questions, and really learn not only about hemp farming, but also about the hemp business, right? And Cindy and I are going to go up and talk about how important testing is. As we were just saying, hemp has to be proven it's hemp. Right. And how you do that is by the THC level. So everything has to be below 0.3% THC, and once you've shown that your hemp is below that number, then you can now manipulate it and process it and sell it as hemp.
Well, of course, you'll be making a lot of contacts up there. It makes perfect sense for you folks to now expand into Oregon, I would assume.
Yeah, that's right. So we are going to expand into Oregon. We are creating a potency testing laboratory right on the Hemp Inc. property. They have a hemp processing center up there. So yeah, it's a perfect time to go up there to meet all of the individuals, to talk to all of the farmers. And quite honestly, Oregon is a very progressive, friendly, both cannabis and hemp state. And it's really nice to be able to go up there and really, like I said, touch the people, answer all the questions, and make sure they understand how important the business side of hemp is just as important, as the growing side.
Well, it sounds a little bit like Grow Sciences.
That's right.
You're going to give them the tagline, the science to succeed.
That's exactly right, and thanks for remembering that. But yeah, that's what our goal is, right? Education leads to really good legislation, right? So it's always good to educate folks as to what exactly is going on, what should be going on, the regulations that you need to be following, the things that you have to do just so you can succeed. So that's what we do at Grow Sciences, as we were talking about before. We give folks the science to succeed, and that's what we're going to do this weekend up in Oregon.
Well, you speak of legislation. Let's face it, cannabis legislation has been running like an out-of-control train.
Yep.
Everybody's jumping on the bandwagon. It's probably the most exciting thing I've seen since the birth of the internet.
Oh, you know what? It really is, and very rarely in someone's life you get to witness the birth of something, right? We saw it with the internet, and now we're seeing it with, they call it the Green Revolution. But you're right, it's very exciting. It is. I think there's 16 House bills that are going to vote on, in this legislative session, if they could do anything. We'll see if they can do that. But a lot of federally legalized statutes are out there, and they're trying to be passed, which is great. And look, there's 38 states right now with cannabis-friendly laws.
Right.
It's time to really legalize federally and really standardize and really do the right thing.
So you're intimating that Congress is actually going to get something done?
Well, this is here's the thing about these particular bills, is that they're very newsworthy, right? And it causes a distraction from what's really going on.
Exactly right.
So all they have to do is distract us a little bit, pass some really friendly marijuana and hemp laws, and everybody be happy.
Got a little bit less than a minute left, but I do want to touch on what you're doing in Colombia as well.
Sure. Oh yeah. So Colombia is predicted to be one of the biggest players in the cannabis space. They've passed a bunch of laws, they've signed treaties with the FARC and with the indigenous people, and they are subsidizing cannabis production. They're predicted to export about 40 tons of THC products a year right? And they have a perfect growing environment. They're right on the equator, and we have the opportunity to open up a lab down there. We're actually just narrowing down on our location in Bogota, and we should be open down there certainly sometime this year.
Once again, Digipath Incorporated, DIGP is their ticker symbol. Check this company out. Todd, always a pleasure. Everything is so exciting with your company.
I tell you what, it certainly is. Thanks, Don. Always great to be here.